And out on the floor, shaking off the pregame jitters, these guys getting all set for tip-off. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. In this one, we'll see the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves here at Target Center. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Anderson, joined by Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg. We'll hear from reporter Allie LaForce in a moment. Taking a look at some numbers here for Anthony Edwards.
And he's been outstanding offensively as of late. These last 5 games, he's been a beast at the offensive end. A different level score than he had been earlier in the season. Let's see if he can keep it up.
And checking out Brooklyn's opening lineup, they've got Johnson, and it's Wilson in at the 3. And it's Edwards with the ball for Minnesota. They come into this one having outplayed the Grizzlies last time.
And most of the arena was totally against them. But they looked inward, trusted each other, and made good plays.
Well, you know, the cohesiveness was evident out there. These guys feel like they can win in any arena, and they proved it that game.
Need to do more than that to keep him from getting the ball in the post.
Exactly. I mean, deny him the ball in the first place. Don't let him get it.
That's in. Coming off an assist from Randall. All right, Grant, coming down to the final few games now. This playoff push sure will be interesting.
Oh, no doubt. And I'm looking forward to it, B.A. The teams trying to make the playoffs will be going all out. And that kind of intensity in these games will be fun to watch.
Just 4 to shoot. They set a pick. Here's Beekman. No good with the triple. Randall against Johnson. Randall, good.
Yeah, big man with big-time handles. Great work by Randall to create for himself.
Pass to Wilson from deep. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
Hey, good to get him going right away. I mean, those are the shots that really boost confidence.
Perhaps he's set for a big night. I mean, he can be a difference maker for him when he's on his game.
Now here's Edwards. Had a career game his last time out. Bucket after bucket. Count it. Good.
Boy, how about the strength of Edwards? Confident in taking on defenders and finishing.
Watford outside. Timmy, defended by Gobert. Back to Watford. Takes the 3. Minnesota with a rebound. First quarter of basketball. Just over 2.5 minutes played so far. Edwards, a pass to Gobert. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
Gobert maintaining balance through contact. Remarkable concentration.
And out of bounds, Minnesota will have it. Here's Conley. Looking at his numbers, currently he's averaging around 9 points a game. Pass to Randall. Conley with the ball. Back to Randall. 6 to shoot. Fires from deep. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
The big story thus far, how well they've shot the rock.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan.
Let's go. Keep it going.
They make use of a majority of their opportunities from the line, finishing top 10 overall in this category, a team you shouldn't foul.
and to be number 2 in turnovers per game. It gives you a good sense of what a well-organized squad they are. They run a tight ship. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Here's Beekman. No points so far. Ooh, nothing falling for them right now. They've been taking care of business.
Especially at the offensive end, where they've been totally in sync.
Here's Randall. Tried to bank it in, but it misses. And so it's Johnson with it. He brings it up for Brooklyn. 6-point game. They come into this one following the loss to Atlanta.
I really think that L has to fall on their defense, or a lack thereof. Just not enough focus at that end of the floor.
Yeah, and that's really inexcusable. I mean, there's just no way that you can justify that. When you don't put the work in on defense, you're going to end up on the losing end.
Now here's Watford. 11 points for him last game against Atlanta. Out of bounds. It'll be Brooklyn's ball. As the playoffs draw closer, here's what the East looks like. You take a look at Brooklyn, a really frustrating season for them. They're looking forward to the draft.
I think for the Nets, this season has not gone according to plan, but at least they'll soon be able to put it behind them.
You know, maybe they'd like to forget it, but there are lessons to take from it as well. I mean, the mistakes they've made this year can't be repeated if they want to get a taste of the postseason anytime soon.
DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Minnesota. And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. He wants to review the game plan. And now a look at the toughest defenses around the league. Number 5, the Timberwolves.
Where this team really makes an impact is on the defensive end. They're a unified front that doesn't make it easy at all to find open looks.
Here's Johnson. Taking a look at his numbers, averaging about 11 a game. Here's Beekman. Watford outside. Hits a three-pointer.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
It's Edwards on the wing. Right side McDaniels. Kept alive. Picked by Gobert to the middle. And Gobert with the stuff.
This is what the team relies on Gobert for, clearing the glass and finishing the play.
Pass to Beekman. To the inside. And the layup is good off the glass. The Timberwolves lead by 6. Randall, the pass to Edwards. Now DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Fades back. Randall can't hit.
Couldn't quite line that one up. Just got to shake it off and move on to the next one.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Minnesota.
Everything working for them inside so far, guys. Tons of high-quality shots that they're knocking down inside.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
And he knocks down the first one. So the Nets making a switch here. Whitehead's checked in. That one misses. All right, Clark, how about Rudy Gobert? What consistency rebounding the ball.
Yeah, averaging double digits pretty much every season, BA. And that helps them in the battle of possessions, obviously. And it also helps them control pace. You got a guy who eats glass like that and defends at a high level. You got something real good for yourself.
You know, a reliable veteran like Julius Randle is so valuable. He provides a foundation for everyone else to play off of because they know he'll be there to score and help out. He makes it easier for other players to succeed around him.
Free throw drops for Randle.
And, you know, the impressive ascension of Randle has been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, he's a double-double threat who plays with relentless energy.
Pass to Whitehead. Timmy. Gets rebounded by Minnesota. Randle outside. Now Edwards. Covered by Johnson. Got a hand on it. And they're able to recover. Here's Johnson. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
And, you know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative and make something happen.
Some changes for Minnesota. Reed's checked in for Randle. Clark comes in for McDaniels. And it's Alexander Walker in for Edwards. Minnesota leading by 8. Outside, DiVincenzo. Stolen. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Brian, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. Now here's Gobert. Turned in an outstanding game against Memphis. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Opportunity for a three-point play here.
And this defense needs to turn the screws and ramp up the intensity. They're looking a little loose out there right now.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
For his career, Gobert's field goal percentage is in the same ballpark as his free throw percentage.
Martin with a screen on DiVincenzo. And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
Pass to Whitehead. Martin outside. Here's Whitehead. 6 on the shot clock. This one for 3.
And you see that in building their lead, they've done an impressive job on the defensive glass.
Yeah, you're right. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
Inside. Here's Reed. Brooklyn pulls it in. DiVincenzo covering. Martin a screen. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair.
And with great execution and the ability to finish, they're a top 5 scoring offense.
And you love how they've controlled the glass at both ends. It takes a huge effort to out-rebound this club.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Garz is checked in. And so he hits both. Minnesota leading by 9. Alexander Walker, the pass to DiVincenzo. On the take. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
And force feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Awoma, that's good.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Now here's DiVincenzo, providing this team some offensive stability. A little over 10 points a game. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Nice job by Reed there, getting the defense off balance a bit and drawing the foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That one's off.
And every season, it seems, Reed takes another step forward in adding to his game, and that's a testament to his strong work ethic.
He hits the second from the line. And Brooklyn with possession here. They trail by 9. DiVincenzo covering. Here's Martin. Off target with the 3.
The way they've gotten after rebounds has been impressive.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Now here's Alexander Walker. No made baskets yet.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
And stolen by Clark. Out to DiVincenzo. There's the triple. Buries it. He's 2 for 4 in this game.
And I'm just impressed with their effort here early. They've hit the offensive glass so hard.
And those putback baskets contributing to their lead.
Whitehead hits the jump hook.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Outside, DiVincenzo. Reed for 3. And again, it's Minnesota with a 3.
Yeah, they're getting pummeled on the offensive board so far.
Well, guys, nobody's boxing out. I mean, I could go out there and get an offensive rebound. They're just watching. And if you're the coaching staff, that's unacceptable.
Now here's Alexander Walker. Clark outside. DiVincenzo finds Reed. Clark outside. Clock is at 3. For 3, DiVincenzo gets the 3 ball to go. DiVincenzo's got 8.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
DiVincenzo covering. Pass to Awoma. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Garza. The rebound by Awoma.
Well, you got to miss sometimes, but that one seemed like a gimme.
14 feet away. And that's not going to go. And so it's Minnesota in control with a 16-point advantage heading into the break. How about the way they've attacked the paint? This throwback approach is paying off. Time for a quick break, then back to the action. We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And quite a position here for the Timberwolves. What do you think, guys?
Well, it's simple. I mean, they started off strong, and they've been hot from beyond the arc since the get-go.
Well, the player and ball movement has been excellent. Finding space, operating in space, and when they've gotten open shots, they've knocked them down.
Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Naz Reid. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the T-Wolves. Now here's DiVincenzo. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. Pass to Whitehead. The 3. Buries it from 3. Whitehead's got his second basket of the game.
Defensively, gotta close out a little faster. That's a look he'll make with regularity.
Outside Edwards. And the call is going to be, yes, an illegal screen. And let's look at the Western Conference standings as the playoffs approach. Taking a look at the Timberwolves, holding down the 6th spot right now in the middle of this conference.
You know, for Minnesota, it really hasn't been the dominant season they were hoping for, but they're still in the hunt for a high postseason seed.
And they need to stay focused. I mean, they have to ensure they hang on to a high seed. It's imperative for them. And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Minnesota shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. Gobert's checked in for the Timberwolves.
At the line for your Timberwolves, DiVincenzo. 1 shot.
Well, Grant, with players getting bigger and more athletic, do you support moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense.
Here's Beekman. Pass to Wilson. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal for the finish. And he caps off the break with a monster slam.
Just doing it solo. Love seeing McDaniels grab that steal and take off and convert.
There's a screen to the paint. Timmy. Hey, how's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Not the tallest center in the league. He more than makes up for it with those crazy hops.
Here's Edwards. Brooklyn pulls it in.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
Here's Wilson. 20 points for him last game against Atlanta. And stolen by Gobert. Outside Edwards. Randle on the screen. From 12 feet. And he gets it to go off the front iron. Edwards has got 9.
All game long, he's been getting to his spots, and the defense has yet to adjust.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over. Here are some of the best and most intelligent shooters in the association. In the 3rd spot, Rudy Gobert.
He's been fantastic scoring the ball, shooting it at a high clip.
Second quarter play, almost 3 minutes gone here. Watford outside. Pass to Beekman. Watford outside. On target from range. Watford's gotten his 2nd bucket on the night.
They're making a few more threes this quarter, which should help them cut into that deficit.
Now here's McDaniels. And the foul is called. He missed it, so he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. And he might not blow you away with numbers, but there's a reason why McDaniels is on the floor so often, Clark.
Hey, B.A., I love his versatility at both ends of the floor. He knows exactly what's needed from him by his team. He gives it to him. He doesn't need a lot of touches. He just plays the game. Love his motor, love his consistency. He is the epitome of a value-utility guy. Known as a versatile and tremendous defender, McDaniels also continues to make real good progress as a scorer.
And both free throws good for McDaniels.
And they've capitalized well from the free throw line. Their percentage is impressive.
And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And they're in a better flow this quarter offensively, and their shooting percentage is steadily rising as a result.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Randall, the pass to Edwards. Picked by Gobert. Down low. And Gobert with the stuff.
Gobert knows his strengths on offense and plays to him well.
Pass to Whitehead. Here's Beekman. DiVincenzo covering. Here's Wilson. Takes a three. Randall pulls down the board. Outside Edwards. To the middle. Here's DiVincenzo.
No question about it. DiVincenzo has found his rhythm tonight, making it look easy on offense.
Here's Wilson. McDaniels covering. Going inside. Right wing. Pass to Beekman. 5 to shoot. The Nets need to get off a shot here. And the Nets miss again.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Picked by Gobert. Here's Edwards. Offline from the top of the key.
Well, it's a make-or-miss league. Sometimes the Jays just don't fall. It wasn't a bad shot.
Watford outside from behind the arc. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. And Edwards slams it in.
Defense gets burned by Edwards' ball handling ability. I mean, this guy's athletic and can really move.
And that one's good. Wilson's got 6 points.
That's been the story of their offense so far. Getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
And Chris Finch calls timeout here. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. And a chance to look at the block shot numbers over the last few seasons for Nicholas Claxton.
And his shot blocking hasn't been nearly as potent as it was a few years ago. It's a shame, really, because his ability to intimidate the other team and be a big presence on the defensive end really gave his team an edge.
Edwards finds Gobert. Here is DiVincenzo. To the paint. Clock at 6. Gobert, that's good.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Watford. He has 6. And the three-pointer goes. Wilson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Too much space on the perimeter. There needs to be a little more energy from the defense. And there's just one foul now away from the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Dillingham's checked in for DiVincenzo. Here's Dillingham. He's averaging about 6 points per game. Picked by Gobert to the inside. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
It's like running into an immovable object. Gobert setting that pick nicely.
Pass to Wilson. And Gobert with a block.
It's been that kind of quarter for him. The shot has just been unreliable.
Randall, good.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Here's Wilson. He's got 9.
And they've won the battle on the board so far, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Boy, the effort level they've had has been outstanding. Hard to keep a team down when they play with that much energy.
Now here's Randall. McDaniels from long range. It's Edwards on the wing. 11 points in the game. Clock at 4. Puts up a 3. McDaniels, that's good. McDaniels got 7 points for the quarter.
Came up dry offensively in the first, but looks like he's ready to turn it around.
Pass to Beekman. Here's Wilson. Watford outside. Inside. Oh, deflected. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
A new day. The Spurs' Victor Wembanyama said a few years back it was more of a guards game, but now it's come back to a big men's game. We've got guys all around the league who do a lot of stuff despite being very tall. It's the way the game changes. You just have to adapt. Brian, the gauntlet has been thrown.
And I like it. Good stuff, Allie. Thank you. He buries it from 3. Whitehead's got his 3rd basket on the night right there. To the paint. Here's McDaniels. Second shot opportunity. Yes, it's good.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Second in three-point field goal percentage. And they're in the NBA's top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. When they're playing with full intensity, their defense is up there with the best of them.
And about their three-point shooting, it's the consistency that strikes me. They're not ranked number 2 in the league because they're streaky. And he drops it first. Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. And here's Randall. He'll bring it up for the T-Wolves. Pass to McDaniels. Now here's Conley. Back to Daniels. And it falls for him. He's now 4 of 7 from the field.
They've been a little soft with their defense on the interior.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Johnson against Conley. Johnson inside. Minnesota with a rebound. Gobert's got 13 rebounds in the game. Glass eating. Outside Conley. For 3, Randall. They get it back. Picked by Gobert. Goes back up. Can't get it to go. He's made 4 of his 8 attempts. For Brooklyn, they've gotten 7 shots out of 14 attempts in the second quarter. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 from three-point land here in the second. Randall can't hit. And for the Nets, they're shooting around 41%. Pass to Whitehead. Back to Watford. 4-3. Pure from three-point range. Watford's got 9.
They've been pretty lax with their perimeter defense, giving up a lot of three-pointers.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
The shot by Conley, no good. Johnson with it. He's picked up by Conley. The shot by Johnson, no good. The Timberwolves lead by 23. Right side, McDaniels. Yes, great play by Conley to set it up. McDaniels got 13 points in this quarter.
Basically just ignored that contact inside. Really tough finish by McDaniels.
Timmy, defended by Gobert. Pass to Whitehead, fires it, and all around the rim that time before dropping. 11 points in the game. Johnson against Conley. And here's Randall. Ooh, give him his 5th make of the game in 10 attempts.
And from the mid-range area, they've been the more effective team.
Well, when you knock down jumpers like that, it opens everything else up as well.
Here's Johnson, stolen by Conley. Gets it off. He can't get that one to fall. And so it's Rudy Gobert making things happen for the Timberwolves. And he ends the quarter with a double-double, doing whatever his team needs. All right, we'll get back to the action after this break.
Hello, everybody. We'll break down the action shortly, but first, a glance at how the Eastern Conference standings are stacking up as the season winds down.
When I look at the Nets, they've wanted this to be a turnaround season. They have a few building blocks, but the roster construction is not complete. This front office has some tough decisions to make.
And talking about our game, Rudy Gobert has been dominant in that first half.
He's feeling it, exploiting the gaps in the defense, getting high percentage looks.
Defensively, you have to find a way to seal those gaps because he's making it look too easy.
Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. You look at Rudy Gobert in this game, he's been everywhere.
And given that he's just delivered a double-double through 2 quarters, I'm excited to see his stats at the end of the night.
Yeah, he's got that locked-in look in his eyes tonight, and he's not going to start taking it easy. I think he's going to be going hard until that final whistle blows.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. On the floor for Brooklyn, they've got Trendon Watford, and it's Wilson in at the small forward position.
Already growing a reputation as one of the game's most notorious trash talkers, Edwards is just having fun out there.
And from what we've seen so far in his career, Anthony Edwards wants to be that guy in crunch time, Clark.
B.A., I love his mentality, not only in that he wants to be the guy, but he also wants to elevate his teammates, and he plays the game with an exuberance and a joy and a freshness that is, quite good to see. But I like his attack mentality and his willingness to step into leading his team by example at both ends of the floor.
And both free throws good for Edwards. And Anthony Edwards has stated that his goal is to ultimately surpass Michael Jordan.
Hey, look, that is a lofty goal to run after. I don't know if he'll catch it, but I like the fact that he's ambitious enough and confident enough to put it out there. His ability speaks for itself. This guy's a star already, and his star continues to shine. His work ethic and confidence give me belief that he's going to have a chance to at least get close to that. We know about 25 years ago, there was a guy named Kobe Bryant who sought to do something similar to what MJ did, and he got pretty close to matching.
Here's Wilson, following the score by Minnesota. Johnson passes to Wilson. Johnson inside, guarded by Edwards. The shot by Johnson, no good. Randall, right side. The kick out to Conley. Now here's McDaniels. Tightly guarded. Gobert finds Edwards. And Watford pulls it down. Watford's got 4 rebounds now. Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
And the ball is tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Pass to Wilson. Here's Beekman. Just 5 on the clock. Down low. Timmy. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
You make your teammates better by giving them good passes. That one was perfect.
Here's Edwards. Brooklyn pulls it in.
Just 1 for 4 from the field, not the way they wanted to start the second half.
Pass to Watford. Here's Beekman. To the middle. Watford outside. Here's Wilson. Launches a 3. And Conley grabs the miss.
Feels to me like this team is going to need more from him, guys. I mean, if they're to erase this deficit, he's got to step up.
He just rises up and throws it down hard with one hand.
That is such a go-to move for him. He holds nothing back on those.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Best thieves in the league, the steals leaders over the last month. The 4th spot held by Rudy Gobert.
His defensive focus has been superb these last few games, continuously finding ways to strip ball handlers and upset the offense.
Pass to Beekman. Back to Watford. Here's Wilson. McDaniels covering. 6 to shoot. Johnson passes to Wilson. Brooklyn, no good that time either.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then because his shot making is not happening right now.
Now here's Johnson. And the shot goes. Johnson's got his 2nd basket.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Here's Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Boy, tonight just gives you a picture of the potential of Edwards. I mean, this guy is an electrifying scoring guard.
Here's Wilson. And it's all from 3-point range.
Since hitting 2 triples in the first half, he's been non-existent from out there.
McDaniels passes to Conley. Left block shot on the way, and it's Randall that time on the assist by Conley. Conley's got 4 assists now tonight. Pass to Wilson. Watford outside. Here's Wilson. McDaniels covering. Here's Beekman. Here's Watford. It's rebounded by Minnesota. Gobert's got his 16th rebound on the night. Randall, the pass to Gobert. And Gobert with the stuff.
Their offense has been unstoppable, just firing on all cylinders.
And, you know, the lead just keeps growing. I mean, this game is not going to get out of their grip. They're going to keep pulling away.
He buries it from 3. Johnson's got 7.
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Randall finds McDaniels. Back to Randall. Ooh, the lead pass was in the perfect spot to set up the layup. Randall's got 6 in the quarter.
Setting each other up beautifully. I love it. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assists.
You know, nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
With 2 hands on the rock, he powers it through.
Totally in control, protecting the ball the whole way.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down hard and simple. You know, so far he's been dominant this period, making the most of his opportunities.
Pass to Johnson. To the inside, and stolen by Gobert.
19th in free throw shooting. And one thing that's defined their season so far, lots of one-on-one play. Very little ball movement compared to other clubs.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, they've had no problem getting into the heart of this defense with the dribble, and they've made the most of their chances there as well.
And, you know, they've done a fantastic job scoring inside as a result, finding plenty of opportunities to cash in near the hoop.
And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Reed's checked in for Gobert. Clark comes in for Randall. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Edwards. And it's DiVincenzo in for Conley. Awoma, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Lewis comes in for Johnson. And so he makes both from the line. And Brooklyn has possession. Pass to Beekman. Here's Awoma. Shot clock at 5. Here's Lewis, covered by Alexander Walker. Lewis can't get it to go. The Timberwolves have gotten 7 of their first 11 attempts to go in this half. Clark in the post. Still without a bucket. Reed sets a screen. Here's Alexander Walker. Another miss by Minnesota. Brooklyn has gone just 1 of 5 from three-point range here in the third quarter. Wilson, no good.
He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used his contributions.
And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
And the toughness McDaniels plays with is impressive. He doesn't back down from any defender inside.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in this game.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Gobert's checked in. And the second free throw is good. Brooklyn shooting just about 33% since this second half started. DiVincenzo covering inside. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Rudy Gobert picks one up.
Personal foul. First team foul. 2 shots. Timmy.
No good on the free throw. And we hear about the unwritten rules of sports sometimes, Clark. What are some of those in the NBA?
Well, you try not to ever foul an airborne player. I think most players are really sensitive to that. Don't disrespect the other team. Be professional and sportsmanlike when you've got a margin of victory that doesn't need to be added on to. In other words, don't run up the score. Don't try to get numbers for the sake of numbers. Play the game, play to win, and do it with respect at all times. Gets the shot he wants. The defense wasn't quite connected enough. They lost contact.
Timmy, defended by Gobert. Here's Whitehead. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
And you know he's finishing when he gets that close. Count it.
Outside, DiVincenzo.
Brooklyn foul. Awoma. Second personal foul. 4th team foul.
Shot clock at 6. clanks that one off the back iron and it falls. DiVincenzo's got 15 points.
Able to connect from the mid-range when given the opportunity. Nice shot that time from Dante DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo covering. Pass to Iwoma. Here's Lewis. Let's go with a three. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. Clark in the post. Up and in on the layup. Clark's got his second bucket on the night.
Since half, there's been a stark contrast between these teams. I'm talking about efficiency at the offensive end.
And that's why you have such a huge gap in the shooting numbers between the teams.
Timmy, and he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Sees his man, threads the pass inside. Excellent teamwork.
Outside Reed. Here's the three. Gets the three ball to go. 7 points in the game.
Off-ball preparation paying off for Reed. He was just waiting for that pass.
Pass to Lewis. The three ball. And it's Gobert with a rebound. Gobert's got his 18th rebound here tonight. All over the place. Alexander Walker, the pass to DiVincenzo. Three-pointer, no good. Brooklyn shooting just 42% so far in the game. Here's Whitehead. DiVincenzo covering. Pass to Whitehead. The shot comes out. Good D by Clark. Gobert with it. Here is DiVincenzo. And a quick look at the 2K leaderboard, showing which teams have really been controlling the glass over the last month. Fourth, the Timberwolves.
And last month, this team was active on the glass. Really put forth an effort to box out and track down misses.
The first free throw is good, and the Nets making a change here. And so Reed nails them both. And the Nets shooting 35% in the third quarter. To the right side. Pass to Beekman. Now here's Martin, covered by Alexander Walker. Fires it from 18. And it's Iwoma missing. Minnesota has gotten 2 of 4 threes to fall here in this third quarter. Outside, Alexander Walker. Here's Reed. Brooklyn pulls it in. Here's Iwoma. An important role in this offense, averaging around 12.5 per game. At the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. This one may have already been decided. It's Minnesota just dominating this one. And don't go away. We'll be back in a few moments. It'll be the fourth quarter of basketball coming up next. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
You have to love his unselfishness and ability to make those around him better.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him, and that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. Dante DiVincenzo out there with Anthony Edwards. Then there's Rudy Gobert. Then it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Reed in at the power forward position. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Here's Beekman. Back to Watford. Here's Iwoma. Alexander-Walker grabs the board. Pass to Gobert. Wow! Now 10 for 10 after that one. He's on fire.
I know Rudy's team is loving this, seeing him in full attack mode offensively. A sight to behold.
Here's Wilson, covered by Alexander Walker. Here's Wilson. Here's Iwoma. Over Gobert. And it's Iwoma missing. Now here's Edwards. He's covered closely. Reed can't hit.
Defense dodged a bullet that time. Total breakdown.
Down low. And it's Awoma missing. The Timberwolves shooting 59% in this one. A good average. DiVincenzo, the pass to Reed. From outside the arc. Brooklyn pulls it in.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Pass to Watford. Ooh, Gobert with a steal. In transition, here they come. Here's DiVincenzo. Uses the glass on the layup.
Yeah, just continuing to unlock his game. If Edwards adds the playmaking component, watch out.
Here's Beekman. DiVincenzo covering. Out to the right wing. Clock at 6. Wilson passes to Whitehead. Here's Watford. Off target from outside. The Timberwolves have gotten half of their attempts to fall in the fourth. 2 for 4 now. Outside Reed. Pass to DiVincenzo. Back to Reed. Jacks up a 3. Gets the 3 to fall.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
All right, Grant, do you feel the non-superstars are making the money they should?
Well, BA, it's a topic in every CBA negotiation. But I think we're trending in the right direction. But it seems like there's always more work to be done.
And he makes the first. And Minnesota with some changes. Julius Randle's checked in for Rudy Gobert. And McDaniels is subbed in for Alexander Walker. And a change for the Nets. Johnson's checked in. It's both from the stripe. Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Randle. Edwards against Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Sees the lob. Oh, and Johnson with a block. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Johnson. A look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Let's go.
The Nets have got none of their shots to go in this final quarter. 0 for 4. Here's Beekman. DiVincenzo covering. Over to the wing. Pass to Wilson. 4 on the clock. Now here's Johnson. Edwards pulls it in. Edwards has got 4 rebounds in the game. To the middle. And Reed with a basket on the assist from Edwards. Edwards got his 5th assist in this one. Here's Wilson. Pass to Beekman. Clark, in your opinion, how does social media affect the game?
Monumental ways. One, I think the most direct way is that it keeps fans connected to players, and players have the option as to how they're going to engage with their fans directly. Player to fan without any middle person. And that is valuable both ways, except when the narrative turns negative. That's the other side of the coin. And when you say things publicly on social media platforms, it's impossible to retract them. You might be able to erase them, but they're still out there in the stratosphere.
And Minnesota with possession here. After the basket by Brooklyn. Offensive rebound. And it's good for 2.
Strong work inside by the 6'9" Jaden McDaniels, showing how effective he can be down there.
Out to the right wing. Pass to Watford. Back to Johnson. 3-pointer. Minnesota with a rebound. Reed's got 8 rebounds in the game. DiVincenzo finds Reed. Edwards looking it over. And Edwards slams it in.
Watch out now. Look out below. Edwards rising to the rafters.
To the left wing. Here's Beekman. DiVincenzo covering. Beekman can't hit. For Minnesota, they've gone 7 for 11 so far in the fourth. Randall, good.
You know, guys, every year Randall seems to improve as a scorer. You know, he's looking more and more confident, more comfortable out there scoring the ball.
Pass to Wilson. And the Nets miss again.
Not a bad look for him on that shot, but it just doesn't seem to be his night tonight.
Now DiVincenzo. To the paint. Here's McDaniels. And it's good. Fought through contact. Hit the shot and will go to the line. Well, Grant, we've heard some out there say dynasties are dead. And these days, there are a lot of teams contending for titles.
Well, the
What's
NBA is happy to see all the competition. But, you know, this league has been defined over the decades by dynasties. We'll see if their epitaph has been written.
And the free throw, no good. Brooklyn's gone only 1 of 4 from the perimeter here in this fourth quarter. And now the T-Wolves on the break. A slam dunk by Reed.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. You love it.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Here's Johnson. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Second personal
It's on Anthony Edwards.
second team foul. 2 shots. Johnson.
First one falls for him. Gobert's checked in for Minnesota. Both shots good from the stripe. One constant in the NBA, Clark, the constant movement of players.
Yeah, and I think you've got to try to look at the positive side of that, the freedom that players have to play where they choose to play in many cases. I think that's the right of any employee to be able to go where they feel they can best optimize their individual and team situations. I think it allows teams to rebuild on the fly and get competitive more quickly. And I like that aspect of it. I don't like to see it overwhelming a season, but I do like the fact that players have that option and that freedom.
2 shots. Martin.
First free throw is good.
Here in the second half, they have definitely made free throw making look easy.
And that's good as he hits both shots. Over the past few seasons, we've seen a big youth movement in the NBA, Clark, with average age dropping to an all-time low.
Yeah, those are the facts, and it's great that there's so much talent. I don't dismiss or discount that at all, but you still have to have a level of value and appreciation for what experienced veterans can bring to your makeup and to your team. That experience is invaluable, and very few teams win at a high level without having a blend of young talent and talented experience, too.
Here's Wilson following the score by Minnesota, and he gets it to go.
Well orchestrated, and then the pass is right on the money.
Minnesota has got 2 of 5 threes to go here in the fourth. Pass to Randall. Randall on the screen, and here's Edwards outside. Wilson grabs the board.
You know, after connecting on 1 3-pointer in the first half, he hasn't netted another one since.
Timberwolves foul. Julius Randle. First personal foul. 4th team foul. 2 shots. Martin.
First one falls. Well, Clark, we're used to seeing a coaching carousel, but in recent years, even winning teams have changed coaches.
Well, you know, that is true, and at least the profession is getting a pay raise overall. But for teams looking to break through, BA, changing the coach still seems to be the default button that most teams like and are more comfortable pushing.
Now here's Conley. Pass to Gobert. McDaniels from long range. Brooklyn pulls it in. Johnson's got 4 rebounds now. Tipped.
Well, you can't go up weak against Randall, otherwise he's going to block you.
And yep, it's good.
Showing more patience this half. His shot selection has improved, and his field goal percentage is rising.
Pass to McDaniels. Back to Randall. Down low. Here's Edwards. Cook it. And it's Randall with the assist. Randall's got 6 assists here tonight.
Yeah, you know, once Edwards flips that switch, now he stays fully engaged. His offensive arsenal is on full display.
And that one's good. Wilson.
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
Conley passes to Randall. Lots of room. And another basket for Minnesota.
Randall, another bucket. Continues to expand his offensive game.
Pass to Watford. Now here's Martin. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation there on the defense. And Clark, we're seeing greater parity league-wide, but there's still those teams wandering the wilderness.
Yeah, and some of that is due to teams failing to draft well. You've got to be a little lucky, but you also have to be good in your draft selections. And it's not enough to have a high pick. It's really what you do with whatever picks you have in getting it right.
And so he hits the technical free throw. Pass to Watford. Here's Wilson. Just 5 to shoot. Oh, he tries a 3. He drops it from range.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Timberwolves.
And everything seemed to go their way today. They were firing on all cylinders, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., this was the kind of performance you relish as a player. Just a very impressive win.
And tonight, a fantastic effort to deliver their 48th win of the year.
And that's a sweep of the season series. It's clear who the matchup favored. They'll wish they could have seen more of these guys.
Yeah, you know, I thought the result might be a little different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. And now they'll have to wait till next year for a shot at revenge.
And one of the league's superstars, producing as he always does. What a terrific game for Rudy Gobert.
Well, his defense was tremendous tonight. Really, really high level. He was a pest, forced the opponents into a lot of turnovers.
Now here's Edwards. Shoots over Johnson. Top of the key jumper, no good. Here's Beekman. McDaniels covering. And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. Boy, they were something special to watch tonight, and the crowd loving every second of it.
It's always a great feeling when you play this well for your fans. This team really showed what it's capable of.
And that'll do it, folks. For Allie LaForce, Clark Kellogg, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for watching the NBA, brought to you by 2K Sports. And we present the player of the game, Rudy Gobert.